signed copies. She has a few extra. Stephanie Gosk, NBC News.
And that's Nightly News for this Thursday. Thank you for watching, everyone. I'm Lester Holt. Please take care of yourself and each other. Good night.
Oh, my God. I need an ambulance. You found the victim's body?
Mr. Price will take the stand.
This is outrageous. There were no witnesses.
Judge, please.
How do we know you didn't kill her?
Objection.
Hi, have you seen that realtor with all those billboards?
Hold my beer.
Get local, award-winning injury lawyers. Get Nicolay.
If your family struggles with food insecurity, call the Family Food Helpline. Live on NBC 12, this is News Watch 12 at 6.
Good evening and welcome to News Watch 12 at 6. I'm Jessica Jukic.
And I'm Dan Hagan. Just when you thought winter is over, not so fast. Snow is gently falling outside our studios here in Rhinelander.
And plenty more is coming. Chief Meteorologist Jeff Weller has more on 2 snowmaking systems making their way to northern Wisconsin. Jeff?
Yeah, hey guys, we are in for quite a ride tonight and throughout the day tomorrow into early parts of Saturday. This is a list of the advisories out there currently. This is a winter storm warning for the precipitation arriving tonight into tomorrow morning. Underneath that is a winter storm watch for the entire region. That's for what arrives tomorrow night into Saturday. All in all, we have a long duration rain, snow, freezing rain event on the way for us tonight into tomorrow and then some. Here's the first wave of moisture out there now. There's some snow, there's some rain and freezing drizzle in there. This whole area will expand in coverage and intensity tonight, and where temperatures are at freezing or below freezing, looks like mostly freezing rain and snow. Above freezing, mostly rain across parts of central Wisconsin tonight. So this is the first wave of that coming through the area now. Again, this will all fill in this evening. Back behind it, though, the main wave is over here. This is going to be a really strong, powerful storm system. It'll make national news with really severe weather across the Midwest tomorrow. It's actually right here across the Denver area. Already Pacific Ocean moisture is there. Gulf of Mexico moisture is here. All of this is going this way. It is stirring up the atmosphere. It's going to get really windy out there as well, with some wind gusts near 45 miles per hour tonight and throughout the day tomorrow. So overall, this comes through tonight, and then tomorrow evening, this right here is the main event. So here's 11 o'clock or so tomorrow evening. The rain everywhere has changed over to snow, and the snowfall rates here could be 1, 2, 3 inches per hour through tomorrow night, with thunder and lightning in the area as well. And if you get under the band of heaviest snow, it's going to really begin to pile up to something like this, a widespread 12 to 18-inch snowfall across the Northwoods between tonight's system and tomorrow night's system into early parts of Saturday morning. So this will obviously slow us down for a couple of days around here with that heavy, wet snowfall on the way. And not just the snow, also the wind. Wind gusts near 45 miles per hour tonight and throughout the day tomorrow into Saturday will blow and drift the snow and likely cause power problems out there as well. So our forecast time for tonight, though, is clouding over, rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow. Heavy snow north of Highway 8 with low temperatures down near 29. Your full forecast is coming up. Dan.
This afternoon, a Manhattan grand jury voted to indict former President Donald Trump. This is the first time a former president has faced criminal charges. The case focuses on allegations that Trump falsified his business records during the closing days of the 2016 presidential campaign. That's allegedly when a $130,000 payment was made to adult film star Stormy Daniels for hush money. While that itself is not a crime, criminal charges could be from campaign finance laws the payment may have broken. However, the exact charge or charges are unknown because indictments are typically filed in court under seal after a grand jury's vote in New York. Trump has denied all wrongdoing.
Next Tuesday, voters in Antigo will decide who will lead their city for the next 2 years. The election for mayor will pit Bill Brandt against challenger Terry Brand. Tonight, residents have a chance to hear where each candidate stands on important issues. Bill Brandt has been the mayor for more than 10 years. When he took office, the city had $24 million in debt. He says under his leadership, the debt has been reduced every year and now stands at about $11 million.
In my 14 years as mayor, some of the things I'm proudest of is the work we've done with some of our local industry and some of our commercial stores and bringing new businesses in.
Branch challenger is Terry Brand. Terry's retired but volunteers as the head of the Langlade County Senior Center. He believes his experience gives him the ability to guide the city of Antigo.
I've been in leadership roles all my life. I was a college hockey coach, an administrator with a school district, and consulting work with communities, recreation facilities, and so forth. So my whole life has been spent in leadership roles.
Tonight's debate is at North Central Technical College Wood Tech Building in Antigo. The debate started at 6 p.m. tonight, but is currently being live streamed on the Republican Party of Langlade County's Facebook page.
Since the beginning of this year, the Rhinelander Area Food Pantry has seen an increase of people shopping there. In 2018, 934 households used its services. That dropped to just under 600 in 2021, then went back up to 744 last year. The Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, also known as SNAP, expired this month. It's a program that people use to receive food. Executive Director of the Pantry, Guy Hansen, says he's been expecting the increase in numbers for a while.
We've been anticipating an increase in customers for some time with COVID and all the restrictions, but now that some of the government subsidies have disappeared, we are actually seeing that increase that we've been anticipating.
So far this year, 15 to 20 people have been signing up for the food pantry per month. Despite the increase of customers, Associate Executive Director Courtney Smith said the pantry is fully stocked and ready.
We know we're really good at logistics and organizing and making sure that we have all of the food that we need to serve our neighbors. So we're definitely not worried about not being prepared. Of course, our dream is to work ourselves out of a job and that we don't have folks in our community who are experiencing food insecurity. But we're here and we're ready.
The food pantry is always looking for volunteers and food donations. They're also in the middle of their spring challenge, where 2 local families in Rhinelander will make a partial match for all donations. To see if you qualify for food at the food pantry, go to the Rhinelander Area Food Pantry website. Firefighters have to be ready for everything. When it comes to a standard fire, they've had plenty of practice.
But it's harder to prepare for a situation that may only happen on occasion. Newswatch 12's Matt Weaver has more on a firefighting training in Crandon, centered on unusual emergency. Matt?
Well, Dan and Jessica, only about 1% of household fires are fueled by propane, and while they're rare, they still happen. A special training session in Crandon means local emergency responders now know how to respond to flames reaching 20 feet in the air.
The fires here are a little more dramatic than they might find in the real world.
At the Crandon Fire Department's propane fire response training, the fires may be exaggerated, but the situation certainly isn't.
Our fire department constantly is trying to get better, and the best way we can do this is putting our firefighters into situations that they're going to experience in real life.
Captain Brennan Cook enlisted the help of Kevin Miller with Fire and Industrial Response LLC to simulate the different kind of flame.
Propane burns a lot hotter than any other normal Class A combustible.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Propane Education and Research Council, area fire departments learned how to respond to these severe flames.
You can see with the blue really close, that is the hottest fire, almost up to 3,000 degrees. As it flames out to the white, the orange and the white, it tapers off with the dramatic amount of heat.
Instructor Luke Van Noy taught the firefighters with Miller using 4 propane props.
The object is for firefighters to, as a team, safely approach a live fire, propane fire, and be able to access the control valve to shut the flow of fuel off to the prop.
The manifold here has different valves on it, and I can adjust how much propane goes through it to make sure the fire puts off a good show, but it is still safe for the firefighters to approach.
The trainees were taught not to focus on the size of their target, but rather on tackling it.
You can't get too entrained in the actual flame itself, because the flames are pretty intense and they have a tendency to wrap around a wide fog pattern and can burn the firefighters behind them if the fog patterns get too narrow.
Although propane fires are unusual, it's important for these firefighters to be prepared for one.
You have to do this as a team, and being able to train on this on a consistent basis so that you know what to do in that emergency at dark 30 in the morning when things happen and you're not expecting it.
In Crandon, Matt Weaver, Newswatch 12.
Looks like a great opportunity. Thanks, Matt. A coalition in Wisconsin is pushing for a cleaner Wisconsin.
Coming up after the break, we'll explain how they're hoping to move towards a carbon-free future. That's After Weather with Jeff, right here on Newswatch 12.
This portion of Newswatch 12 is brought to you by Furniture and Appliance Mart.
A person is known by the company they keep. Who are Judge Janet Protasewitz's friends? Predatory abortion profiteers. The type of savages that support late-term abortions that cause excruciating pain and stop a beating heart. And they want you, the taxpayer, to foot the bill. Janet Protasewicz and her bloodthirsty comrades don't care about Wisconsin's values. They care about making money, killing babies. Vote Dan Kelly on April 4th.
Carpet City.
Come to Carpet City Flooring Center's biggest sale ever and receive free carpet installation or save $300, $600, or even $1,000 on all hard surface flooring. That's right, free carpet installation or extra savings up to $1,000 on hard surface flooring. If you need flooring, now is the time to buy. Only at Carpet City Flooring Center's biggest sale ever.
Our prices will floor you.
Countertops are the center of a home. With elegant to everyday options. Easy installation you can do yourself. And durability that can take you from crayons to calculus. Transform everyday spaces into gathering places with custom craft countertops. 11% off at Menards.
Wisconsin seniors depend on Social Security, but extremist Dan Kelly doesn't care about them. Kelly wrote that Social Security was similar to slavery. And Kelly insulted seniors by writing that those on Social Security are, quote, people who have chosen to retire without sufficient assets to support themselves. Do you want a radical like that on the Supreme Court? Dan Kelly, an extremist who doesn't care about us.
There you are. Pull up a chair. You and I are about to go through some things tonight, tomorrow, into Saturday. A combination of rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow is on the way. And that snow could be locally heavy. Also heavy rain in there as well. The current advisory is a winter storm warning for tonight's system across parts of our area here in pink. That's for a combination of freezing rain, sleet, and snow. Several inches of snow expected here tonight. That gets out of here tomorrow morning. And then all of us are under a winter storm watch for tomorrow evening into Saturday. That's the main event. That's going to bring a widespread snowfall to the entire region and locally heavy snow to north central Wisconsin. Out there now, here's the first surge of moisture entering the picture currently. In here is some heavy rain. It's currently snowing in Rhinelander, back toward Park Falls, and that will continue to fill in tonight into early parts of tomorrow. Then we get a break for a couple hours tomorrow afternoon before the main event gets in here tomorrow night into Saturday. Okay, so check out these lows this morning. Hit 0 at Arvida, 2 in Rhinelander. So the ground froze, of course, overnight last night and then recovered kind of throughout the day today. Right now we have temperatures hanging out at 33 in Rhinelander, also for Tomahawk, 32 for Medford. So you see what's happening, right? There's a line right across our DMA that's going to have really below freezing temperatures here, above freezing temperatures there. Rain down here tonight, freezing rain and snow up this way, and that snow will begin to pile up a lot this evening. So the ice will also be an issue. We're going to drop some of this, all this moisture into a frozen ground, and here at the surface, cold temperatures. That could give us a quarter inch or so, if not more, of ice. The problem with that is you put that in the pine trees, you kick up a 45-mile-per-hour wind tonight. That's going to move those trees around, lots of weight in the trees. That could give us some power problems tonight into tomorrow as well. Okay, so here's the first batch of moisture again. This is all going to fill in tonight. This is not the main event. It's a two-part system. The main event is over here, entering parts of Colorado, about to eject into the plains. This thing has a lot going for it, lots of energy, lots of moisture, lots of spin in the atmosphere. It'll make national news tomorrow with severe weather threat across basically the entire Midwest. But meanwhile, here's Gulf of Mexico moisture there, Pacific Ocean moisture there. That's all streaming our way. The Gulf of Mexico is wide open, and we're going to be in a good place to make some really good snowflakes tomorrow, especially tomorrow night into early parts of Saturday. So for right now, here's 7 o'clock tonight. Snow here here, rain across central Wisconsin. Notice that band sets up right along Highway 8 where it stays snow there northward. That snow is going to really pile up tonight. Rain further south, and then we get a break in the action for a couple hours tomorrow. Here's tomorrow evening. Again, 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Snow heavy, mixed precipitation here, rain, changing over to all snow tomorrow night. And we're going to get some incredibly heavy snowfall rates out of this of 1 to 2 to 3 inches per hour with some lightning and thunder in there as well. That's going to push out of here midday on Saturday. Here's Saturday morning, 5 o'clock or so. Heavy snow falling. Travel plans Saturday morning. You're not going to make them on the highways. Likely closures across our area with wind gusts near 50 miles per hour and heavy snow falling. That gets out of here. We have a nice day for the rest of Saturday before we get some more light rain showers in here and snow showers on Sunday. All right, so I don't put maps like this up very often, but we're forecasting a widespread foot plus of snow for the Northwoods and points east of here. Lesser amounts as you go south as more rain will mix in with that. But this is going to disrupt our lives tonight, throughout the day tomorrow night, into early parts of Saturday. And not just the snow, also the wind. We're talking wind gusts near 45 to 50 miles per hour into early parts of Saturday. It's going to blow and drift the snow around, but it's also going to be an incredibly heavy, wet snow, lots of moisture in it, and that's going to be difficult to move around, of course, with that wind and snow out there. Okay, there's also a severe weather component to this, not so much for us, but for parts of central Wisconsin and southern Wisconsin and Iowa. This will likely make national news tomorrow. One thing going for us here, though, is these storms down here could prevent some moisture from getting up here. We'll see. That's yet to be determined. So overall, don't panic. We've been through this before, but overall, this is a very heavy, wet snow, likely affecting the Northwoods beginning tonight, out there right now, into early parts of Saturday. And all this snow on your roof, of course, is an issue. We're talking maybe 18 inches of heavy, wet snow on your roof adds thousands of pounds of weight to your roof. This could be a problem with some structures throughout the day tomorrow into Saturday. Our forecast then tonight, though, is rain, freezing rain, sleet, snow, and wind. Low temperatures down near freezing. That's critical, of course, with an east-northeast breeze around 15 to 30. For tomorrow, it's Friday. Rain, freezing rain, sleet, snow, and wind. A break in there for a couple hours as well, with high temperatures near 38 falling throughout the afternoon. And then looking ahead, your 7-day forecast by Northwest Furniture and Mattress shows a mess tomorrow into Saturday. A couple sprinkles and flurries Sunday, not a big deal. Monday, warmer. Tuesday, more snows in the forecast. Dan?
Thanks, Jeff. An event scheduled to be at Nicolay College tomorrow will be canceled due to the potentially dangerous weather. Rhinelanders Technical College, Nicolay, has decided to cancel the community service fair scheduled for tomorrow. The college says they plan to reschedule the fair for a future date, but haven't set a new date yet.
A new statewide coalition is pushing for Wisconsin to be carbon-free by 2050. The Clean Economy Coalition of Wisconsin includes 12 environmentally focused organizations who are joining to push for local and statewide policies that prioritize improving access to clean energy. The coalition has identified 6 main policy goals. Those include increasing the use of renewable energy sources for homes and buildings and encouraging the transition to electric vehicles across the state. The group is pushing for a 50% reduction of energy use in buildings by 2030, phasing out the use of natural gas in existing homes and businesses, and aiming for 50% of new car sales being electric vehicles by 2030. We'll be right back.
Looking to feed a group? Rhinelander Pub is the fresh, easy choice for nearly any occasion or event, offering full-service custom catering for parties and events of all sizes, providing personalized planning assistance and exceptional service. Partner with us to create an unforgettable event.
Dan Kelly and his friends are lying about Judge Janet Protasiewicz.
He wants to scare you because he can't talk about his own record.
Dan Kelly has never sentenced a single criminal to prison.
Not one. That's a fact.
And as a private attorney, Kelly got rich defending sex predators who posed as youth ministers to sexually assault young girls.
That's the truth.
The bottom line is that Dan Kelly won't keep our community safe.
He's an extremist
who doesn't care about us.
There are so many things we take for granted. So many things. And along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for their survival for granted too. The elderly, disabled, the veterans, People on limited and fixed incomes, or folks that lost jobs in sectors hardest hit during the pandemic. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living? Some people just can't come back. And through no fault of their own, they're being left behind, struggling to keep their heat, water, and power on. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our heat, water, and power providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
He brutally raped her, repeatedly.
I spent endless nights plagued by nightmares. My bedroom door was barricaded. I was so afraid.
But Judge Protasiewicz ignored her pleas, let the rapist off easy, and now he's back on the streets.
When you don't know where your attacker is, then he is everywhere. He is every sound in the night.
Tell Judge Protasiewicz, stop failing victims and stop protecting criminals.
The Rhinelander Pub is now open Monday to Saturday. Come enjoy our newly expanded lunch and dinner menu featuring longtime pub favorites and new entree additions. You will love our all-you-can-eat soup and salad bar and Friday seafood buffet.
A wild bear that seemed underweight a year ago has given birth to 2 cubs.
The discovery was a welcome surprise to researchers in Minnesota's Northwoods. Erin Hassan-Zeta reports.
Last March,
600 feet.
Inside the Chippewa National Forest, we found bear 6080.
So she's definitely laying on her left side.
Hibernating.
What do you think of her weight?
Very small.
She seemed to be underweight. She also didn't have any cubs, a surprise to researchers.
It's actually pretty rare, but we had a really bad food year last year, one of the worst we've had since we started recording in the 80s.
We checked in with researcher Andrew Try.
Den work's all pretty much wrapped up, so that's a nice feeling.
This year, Bear 6080 welcomed 2 cubs into the world.
That was an exciting thing.
How is she doing?
Perfectly healthy as far as we can tell, and looking fine. She's a lowland bear. She likes to stick to the swamps and not hit hunters' baits, so she's always on the lighter side.
What did you find out there this year?
If you were a bear, it was a great year to be a bear, munching on berries all summer, and then acorns and hazelnuts in the fall. 2022 was a great year, one of the best food years that we've had on record since we started tracking these things back in the 80s.
Try says all the bears who were expected to have cubs had them. Our thick blanket of snow insulated dens, though our February warm-up posed a challenge for one bear.
It certainly did get a little flooded out in her den, and so she just moved about 500 yards away into a brush pile in a wetland and is hibernating the rest of her winter there.
And as far as where you'll find Minnesota black bears?
The north end of the Twin Cities, and even to some extent the eastern edge of the Twin Cities. And we had some bear reports out in Eden Prairie as well, kind of by Purgatory Creek. And so that's becoming kind of secondary bear range now. Bear sightings are more common.
So there is something we can all do as the weather warms up to coexist.
So it's incumbent on folks to start thinking about pulling their bird feeders in once about tax day or so comes, and making sure their trash is secured. So bears can be bears and they don't get in trouble with folks.
Erin Hassanzada, WCCO 4 News.
I'm going for Judge Janet
What is it?
You don't need to know how to say Protasiewicz to know that Judge Janet believes in fairness, freedom, and public safety.
Protasiewicz.
What did you find when you lost the weight?
I found my smile.
I found I could eat, really eat. Jenny just makes it simple. Simple.
Learn how to get a free week of food with Purchase. Jenny Craig, lose the weight. Find yourself.
Been daydreaming of campfires or time on the water? Start your summer plans by joining Schroeder's RV and Marine at their 28th annual open house, March 31st, April 1st, and 2nd. They have over 300 boats and campers available. Shop the best deals on the best brands at the biggest RV and Marine dealer in the Northwoods. Join us at Schroeder's RV and Marine for the 28th annual open house, March 31st, April 1st, and 2nd. See you there.
Are
Our officers risk their lives to protect your families.
But law enforcement's hands are tied when judges like Janet Protasiewicz refuse to hold dangerous criminals accountable.
Including a man who brutally raped a 13-year-old girl and posted a video of it to Facebook. Monsters like him belong in prison. Judge Janet disagrees.
Wisconsin sheriffs are supporting Dan Kelly for Supreme Court. He enforces the rule of law, not the rule of Janet.
Vote Daniel Kelly for Wisconsin Supreme Court.
To everyone who believes in tradition, come enjoy a few of ours from Wisconsin.
People in Wisconsin love a good fish fry.
Really love. And we love sharing it with guests everywhere.
At Culver's, we still batter our North Atlantic cod by hand to order.
And we cook it to a crispy, golden perfection just for you.
For you. For you.
So it's crispy outside, flaky inside. Let us take care of you.
With some homegrown traditions we were raised on.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious. Hi, Bob Pucci for the Take Kid Hunting Foundation. We're having the Yanago Gun Show this weekend at the fairgrounds on Highway 45. Admission is $7, 14 under are free. Show hours are Friday from 3 to 8, Saturday 9 to 5, and Sunday 9 to 3.
A former prosecutor, now circuit court judge, Janet Protasiewicz. On the Supreme Court, she'll be a common sense judge. She believes in protecting our freedoms, fairness for all, and public safety. Janet Protasiewicz for Supreme Court.
At Eagle Floor Covering in Eagle River, we have a knowledgeable staff, competitive pricing, and free estimates. Browse our selection of carpet, vinyl, wood, and tile for your next home project.
All right, Jessica and Dan, here we are in Park Falls, where it's snowing currently there, snowing here in Rhinelander. We have quite a storm system to get through tonight and throughout the day tomorrow. Here's the first wave of moisture kind of entering the picture. Basically, snow north of Highway 29, rain south of there, and it will increase in coverage and intensity tonight, all giving way to this. And again, I don't do maps like this very often, but there's easily several areas that could see 1.5 feet of snow by the time we're done with this thing on Saturday morning.
Saturday will be a good day to stay in, especially in the morning.
Chilly.
Does not feel like March. Thank you, Jeff. That's all the time we have. We'll see you back here at 10.
It'll be...
Mr. Food Test Kitchen is brought to you by Golden Carrot Jewelers and Rhinelander